Our next bout is one of the many we are excited about here tonight. Our next bout is a middleweight bout at 185 pounds, presented by the Valor Hour with Casey Oxendine and Tim Loy. It's a UMMAF National Qualifier Final. It's Bright Benson at 4-1 out of Douglasville, Georgia, taking on Josh Cumbee, also 4-1 out of Rincon, Georgia. Middleweight bout is next here at Valor Fights 42 in Newport, Tennessee. With Casey Oxendine, I am Vince Ferrara. We are cage side. Real quick, this next bout presented by the Valor Hour. Tell everyone about the Valor Hour, Casey.
The Valor Hour is everything Valor Fights and so much more. Anything that you can think of, we'll talk about it when it involves combat sports, and we're real about it as well. No fake talk, no muffling and all that. It's for real.
All right, we're ready for our next bout presented by the Valor Hour. Let's go back to Jennifer in the cage.
Our next bout of the evening is a UMMAF National Qualifier Final in the middleweight division, brought to you by the Valor Hour. First, please welcome to the cage, Bright Benson.
Bright Benson in a battle of 4-1 fighters with bright futures. No pun intended. Actually, pun was intended on that one, Casey. It's Bright Benson, who is from Knuckle Up Fitness in Douglasville, Georgia. Tell us about Bright.
Well, Bright Benson is a guy that is a tremendous athlete. And he comes out of the Knuckle Up camp there in Douglasville, Georgia. Knuckle Up Fitness is one of the original mixed martial arts gyms when I was first getting into it. They have been around for a long time, and he is currently on a 3-fight win streak. We saw him here when he got that big win over Nick Jewell back at Apex 13, and he did it in stunning fashion. But tonight, he faces Josh Cumbee, who is coming off of a big win of his own just a few weeks ago at Valor Fights 41 over Tevin Brown. I think this matchup really it could possibly be fight of the night, a big-time fight of the night candidate.
And we've seen Benson with his last fight was a win over Nick Jewell, second round, 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and really has been very impressive to this point. And that was at Apex Fights 13. So his opponent, Josh Cumbee, brings an awful lot to the table as well, Casey. We'll talk about Josh in 1 second as Bright Benson stepped into the cage and ready to go. Let's go back to Jennifer.
And his opponent making his way to the cage. Please welcome Josh Cumbee.
So here comes Josh Cumbee, 4-1 out of self-made domicile in Rincon, Georgia. Tell us about Josh Cumbee.
Well, again, the first thing that comes to mind, again, is that big knockout at Valor Fights 41. That got knockout of the night, garnered him knockout of the night over Tevin Brown, of course, nephew of Rampage Jackson. Mm-hmm. And I picked against him in that fight, and then he made me eat crow. It was a really tremendous finish. He is an outstanding athlete, and a guy really, he's on a roll right now, 3-fight win streak, and really can do it all, man. He's gone the distance before. He's finished by knockout. He's finished by TKO, and really a future star in this sport.
Josh Cumbee says if he wants to stand up, then we'll stand up. If he got reach on me, so he might try to stand up, stay on the outside, and lead with his jab. While watching a few of his fights, I saw he's got a decent jab. All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape between Bright Benson and Josh Cumbee, two young fighters with terrific records at 4-1. Cumbee 3 years younger than Bright Benson. You see Benson stands 6'4". Cumbee's pretty tall as well, but a 4-inch height advantage for Benson. Benson weighed in at 185.8. Cumbee under that 185 middleweight limit at 183.9.
I think that height is one thing that stands out here. Of course, Cumbee, when we saw him with Tevin Brown, he appeared to have the height and reach advantage. He will not have that luxury in this fight tonight against Bright Benson. Bright Benson, a big, tall individual in the middleweight division. So I'm anxious to see how Cumbee deals with that, and then, of course, how Bright Benson deals with the pressure of Josh Cumbee as well.
So Cumbee is in the cage. This is going to be fantastic. We're ready for our official introductions. Let's go back to Jennifer.
This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 185 pounds, holds a record of 4 wins with 1 loss, and fights out of Knuckle Up Fitness in Douglasville, Georgia, Bright Benson. And his opponent across the cage to my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 183 pounds, holds a record of 4 wins with 1 loss, and fights out of self-made domicile in Rincon, Georgia, Josh Cumbee. Your referee when the action begins is Nate Jolly.
Nate Jolly, our referee, and it's middleweight bout at 185. It's a UMMAF National Qualifier Final. Bright Benson in the bright green and white trunks. Josh Cumbee in the gray trunks. 3 3-minute rounds, a spot in the Nationals on the line, and we're underway.
And you see right out of the gate, it's the Orthodox versus the Southpaw here. Good head movement from Josh Cumbee. Oh, and a big left!
Down goes Bright!
Right out of the gate, Josh Cumbee with dynamite in those fists. Oh, and Bright Benson fires back. Benson's still in this thing.
Benson recovered quick. Shot to the body by Cumbee. Explosive first 30 seconds. Cumbee wasn't reckless coming after Benson to try to finish him.
Oh, well, that's one thing you really have to watch with the Southpaw. You know, the Southpaw is used to fighting in that position. The Orthodox fighter is used to fighting Orthodox fighters. So the Southpaw, a trick, is already in effect here tonight. And that's one thing, if you come from a boxing background, they say you don't necessarily want to jab the Southpaw. It's the left hook, right hand combination to have the best success there. Because when you do throw that jab, it leaves that straight left wide open.
Another shot to the body by Cumbee. Well, Benson hasn't really connected with it. He's kind of stuck it out there, but he's not committed to it yet. And it might be for that very reason you're talking about.
Yeah, he definitely needs to watch it, and I'm sure he realizes that at this point. That was a tough shot he caught there in the early goings of this round.
Things have settled in here in round number 1. Crowd was electric to start this round.
I don't know that I've seen a single kick from either of these guys yet.
That's a good point.
Oh, beautiful right hook there from Cumbee. Really on point with his striking.
Just under control as well. Continuing to move the head. Locked in, hands up. Fundamentals, Cumbee, it looks like. There's your kick, and there's one return.
There we go. Bright Benson with a stream of blood coming from his nose, possibly from that big left hand that he caught early on.
Oh.
And again, Cumbee just so quick, so powerful, and precise here.
Faked with the right and came over the top, sort of a Superman punch on the back end.
And that's where it's going to be at. You know, Cumbee hauling off with that right hook and then following it up with that left. And when that left lands, it's money in the bank.
And that's the end of round number 1. Benson wanted to touch gloves. Cumbee had already turned around and he realized, oh, yeah, the guy tried to tap with me to show respect. So obviously Cumbee with that first round. Right?
Undoubtedly, man. What a shot to rock this entire audience tonight at Valor Fights 42. And man, did they roar when they saw that. This has become a war right out of the gate.
Take us to this replay here. I think we'll see that shot.
Yeah, here it is. Well, you'll see it. It's the jab. Boom, counter left. That is Southpaw fighting 101 there, man.
Right.
You've really got to watch using that jab.
Clean, effective. And Cumbee never just was reckless. He was just, I mean, he's got fundamentals written all over him.
Yeah, well, you know, and that's something else. You know, Bright Benson, he continued to Paul with that jab following that knockdown is something that I would have assumed that his coach will be telling him here to, move towards using the left hook and the straight right here in these combinations and maybe start to load up and throw the kicks, because when he waits, it also causes problems because Cumbee, when he waits too long, Cumbee does come on and he explodes very quickly.
Josh Cumbee initially kept getting asked to fight, and he always said no. But then an opportunity came up, invited to a gym, fell in love with it, and here he is at 4-1, and likely would do the first round on judges' scorecards. Round 2, 3 3-minute rounds here at Valor Fight 42. Cumbee in the gray, Benson in the green.
Cumbee's footwork much, much more active, even though he does have a reach disadvantage, but finding that straight left nonetheless.
Benson still pawing the jab, but not able to connect.
Yeah, follows it up with the right kick. That's actually a good thing. Mixing up those legs in with his punches, I think that's going to help him to gain more success in this fight with the very unorthodox southpaw in Josh Cumbee.
And that's because when you're jabbing,
another
left.
stiff left.
Cumbee feinted with that left. And that's because of the hole you're opened up facing a southpaw, right? When you're
Absolutely.
jabbing at him, if you kick, you can counter that, right?
Right. It's a lot easier. And, well, I mean, throwing the straight right, it would be the straight left is
right.
similar to throwing the jab. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So it makes everything backwards. So when you throw your jab, you're leaving your face wide open to that counter left every time.
So if you follow it up with a kick, you have a chance to really make.
Yeah, and it changes things up. It's a lot easier or a lot more difficult to time someone when they're throwing more tools at you.
Blood coming back out of the nose of Benson.
I've yet to see one left hook from Bryant Benson. That would be something that I would definitely, in his corner, push for him to utilize. That left hook is so useful against a southpaw. Woo. Wow. Beautiful fisticuffs here.
Wow.
And it seems as though the chin of Bryant Benson is starting to hold up much better after that initial shot, which actually dropped him onto the mat,
Cumbee, though, still effective. A push kick there and an apology. Final 30 seconds of round number 2. No one has attempted a takedown to this point. See Benson with that reach and that length, hard to make contact with. But Cumbee's been able to find a way at this point. Final seconds of round number 2.
Oh, Bryant Benson with a straight right.
And they exchange through the horn. So round number 2.
I'm going to go with Josh Cumbee as well. I just think he placed those lefts much better. I felt like Bryant Benson began to come on in the later moments of that round. Just not enough, though. What I would like to see again from Bryant Benson, again, the left hook, utilizing that left hook, and using those kicks more. Set them up with your hands and use those kicks. If you're going to paw that left, paw it very conservatively and use it to divert the attention away from other tools in his bag.
See Josh Cumbee, no stool for Cumbee as his corner talks to him there. Josh Cumbee says he is still satisfied, he's satisfied with what he's accomplished to this point, still hungry, and a lot of experience to come. He's hoping for a shot at the 185 title later this year with Valor, and this would go a long way. It'd be an impressive win if Cumbee's able to get it. Sure, he'd love to get the finish, but looks in good shape, and they'll touch gloves as we begin round number 3, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in this middleweight bout.
And again, Bryant Benson comes out Pawing that jab. A kick from Josh Cumbee. The game is Brad Benson, very clean striker. But again, I'm very perplexed as to why the left hook is never utilized. I've not seen one single left hook utilized in this fight. And I think it would be so useful. I think that Brad Benson could really open up a lot of options here in the striking ranges.
Benson's corner has been asking for an inside leg kick. He's kicked the outside of the lead leg.
Oh, nice head kick there.
Wow. Benson's got a little more confidence here in this third round. Oh.
And just as you say it, Cumbee with that straight left. Now Cumbee standing orthodox momentarily.
Yep.
Switches back to southpaw very quickly.
He's tapping at his front leg. I wonder if he's taking some damage there. Trying to get some feeling back into it. Midway through round number 3 here at Valor Fights 42.
I question how much Brad Benson has worked with southpaws in preparation for this. Again, he's not fighting like an orthodox fighter would fight against a southpaw.
Still waiting on a left hook that you've been asking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one of the key strikes, again, in competing against southpaw fighters.
Cumbee just continues to score.
And Brad Benson doing well as well. You know, I mean, it's a very close third round. But when you are down 2 rounds, you can't even make it close. Brad Benson, in my estimation, needs a finish here.
Yeah, and a little more urgency you'd like to see. You wouldn't think maybe winning on the scorecards would be enough in this third round. Cumbee charging in now. Corner telling Benson, let's go now. Cumbee got turned around for a moment. They're going to finish standing up. The fireworks started right out of the gate in the stand-up, and that's how they'll finish.
And there it is.
Nice hug between the two. So who would you score that third round to?
You know, I might give that third one to Bright by narrow margin. He was a little bit more active. I mean, it could definitely go either way. I'm going to say 29-28, though it could have very well be a 30-27 fight.
It was close. I think I might give Cumbee just a slight advantage in that third round. And take us to this replay here, Casey.
Well, again, you see here, Brad Benson using that jab, catching that stiff left. That was the story of the entire fight. But a great performance.
Yep.
A great performance. You know, a good fight from Brad Benson as well. Props to him for coming out, getting back up after getting dropped just seconds into the fight and going the distance. A great fight here and a big future really for both men, but particularly Josh Cumbee.
Yeah, and big time credit to Benson to be able to recover and still battle his way through and go toe-to-toe perhaps with Cumbee the rest of the way. He feels like he's won the fight. And Josh Cumbee, great performance as well. Lots of respect, some joking there between the two. Either one of these two fighters is going to, unless, unfortunately, we have some sort of draw, but one of these two fighters is going to move to 5-1 and perhaps be a step closer to a title shot in the middleweight division here at Valor Fights. And this bout been presented by Army Recruiting, and we saw some terrific action. All stand-up this time, so fans that love that aspect of the MMA sport were treated to some nice exchanges, big power punch early on, good chin from Benson, and two talented fighters put on a show here in Newport at Cott County High School. All right, we go to the judges' scorecards for our winner. Let's go to the cage and Jennifer.
After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. Judge Lyle scores this bout 30-27. Judge Leach 29-28, and Judge Doran 30-27. All in favor of your winner out of the blue corner, Josh Cumbee.
It is Josh Cumbee who jumps up on the cage. Cumbee with a great performance tonight, and he moves to 5-1 and one step closer to fighting for gold here at Valor Fights. And you got to love those two with their exchanges. Casey with our winner, Josh Cumbee.
Josh, we saw you back at Valor Fights 41 with the knockout of the night. I thought it was going to be a repeat of that in the opening moments of the first round. You dropped him with that big left. Bright Benson, a tough guy, able to recover. You go the distance, and you score the unanimous decision. Talk about the fight.
Everybody kept coming to me, oh, knockout of the night, last fight, let's see it again. And it got in my head a little bit, but I don't come here to knock nobody out. I come here to win. Knockout, submission, all 3 rounds, decision, it don't matter to me. But other than that, man, I give it all to Bright Benson. He's a tough guy. He caught me with some kicks. Definitely hurt. I'm going to be feeling him tomorrow for sure. He's a definitely tough guy. I want to thank him for taking the fight. I want to thank Valor for letting us fight. Thank UMMAF. I want to thank my corners, my family over there, everybody back in Effingham. Thank everybody for the support. I love all y'all. Thank y'all. And always number one, God. Always. Without him, without the Lord, ain't none of us nothing. I'll tell you that now. Without the Lord, not one person in this building right now is anything without the Lord. So he's always number one.
Josh, let's talk a little bit about the technical aspects of the fight. Now, it's one thing that I watched is that Brian continued to paw that jab out there. That's one thing you've really got to watch out for against a southpaw. I didn't see one single left hook come, and that's something that, you know, is really a good tool against a southpaw. Is that something that you really saw from the beginning and you used to rack up round after round?
I really didn't notice that he wasn't throwing any left hooks. I noticed he was throwing a lot of uppercuts. I got a guy I'm training with back home a little bit. He's a fighter. He throws a lot of hooks at me, so I would have been definitely ready for that. Because like you said, southpaw, that when you throw that jab, it just leaves all that open for that left hook. So he throws a lot of them. I probably caught a good 50 left hooks to the jaw in 1 week before, probably, because he's just good at it. But other than that, that jab sticking out there in my face, it was definitely hard to handle, and he kept throwing them uppercuts, so I kept having to jab and move. So, yeah, he's definitely a good fighter.
Well, there you have it. Looking for big things out of this man, Josh Cumbee. Let's hear it one more time for your winner.